stand for the pledge and prayer?
Father in heaven, bless us as we gather today for this meeting. Guide our minds and hearts so that we will work for the good of our community. Teach us to be generous in our outlook, courageous in the face of difficulty, and wise in our decisions. Thy will be done. Amen.
Amen. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Hancock County Commission. This is March 28, 2013. Well, a big crowd. We haven't had this big of a crowd since the 1936 flood when everybody was coming up down, so we're ready to roll. Before we go to anywhere, citizens presentation, we have a special announcement today, and we have a special person we want to honor from Hancock County. Is our deputy out there?
Deputies here, we have the firemen here, we have the ambulance service here, we also have the dispatcher that took the call.
Wow. Deputy, would just step up to the microphone and
Who's gonna?
talk about this?
Tracy or?
We were called on March 20th, 2013, medical emergency at an address in Newell. I was the first deputy on scene, along with the fire department members here, Tim Steele and Jeff Poole. Brant was inside the residence. His mother was having a seizure, an active seizure. He was instrumental in helping us notify family relatives exactly what his mother's name was, date of birth, and what was wrong with her, or what he believed was wrong with her. And we got her help, and he did an excellent job, and he did it all himself.
Mom, come on in. This is Dana, this is Brant's mom.
And basically, this is a certificate of accommodation for the Hancock County 911 Center, New Cumberland, West Virginia. This certificate is to commend and recognize Brant Chaffins, which is the young gentleman right here, for being a brave hero on March 20th, 2013, when he called 911 to summon help for his mother who was having a medical emergency, and being mature and helpful to the 911 dispatchers, the firefighters, ambulance personnel, and the deputies. It's signed Tracy Lemley, who is the 911 director.
Brant, would you like to say anything?
No.
How about your mom, Tracy?
Mom's Brant. Dana.
He does have a cool haircut.
Yeah.
though.
Would you like to say anything today?
I would like to thank my son for helping me.
Hey.
And on behalf of the Hancock County 911 Center and the Commission, we have a gift here for Brant. We also, you can keep your certificate, honey. We have a gift here. And Tim Steele, would you please come in here?
Like we got your little fire truck. Trace some cups for you. I'll hand these to your mom. And here's a little junior firefighter shirt. It says you're a junior fireman in the Newell Fire Department.
All right.
And also, Joe Polgar is here with the New Cumberland Ambulance Service, and they were the ambulance service that transported Brant's mom to the hospital. So congratulations, and we're so glad that you are well today and here because of the actions of your son. So thank you, commissioners, for recognizing this brave little boy. He is our hero today.
Thank you.
Good job.
Little fire trucks. Looking at our schedule, we do have a bid opening to start out with the Old Weir High Football Stadium. Oh, we're good there. Old Weir High Football Stadium visitor seating bid openings. We have one bleacher bid. And I'm assuming, I never assume anything, but this is for the visitor stadium seats at Weir High School. Buckeye local athletic department would like to bid $15,002 for the visitors section of bleachers. This is from Sam Jones, athletic director. I will hand this over to Tom if he'll take a look at that and let us know what we've got there, and I don't know if we have any other bids, there's no other bids on that. I don't know, can we accept that bid today? I believe we can. I would accept the motion that we accept the bid from Buckeye Local.
Who's the actual bid from?
The Buckeye Local Athletic Department, signed by Sam Jones, the athletic director.
Question, Counselor, do we have to do any due diligence there as far as insurances or anything?
I think they're a responsible bidder. I mean, you would put some deadline on it for their removal.
The deadline was May 31st with the bid.
Yes, that was stated in the bid itself.
I will accept the motion to take that.
So move.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Citizen presentation. Do we have any citizen presentation today? I know we do have a good contingency here from the leadership. Let's see if they're here. And thank you for coming out today. Any citizen presentations today? Mr. Zielinski, maybe a couple of weeks ago, Mr. and Mrs. Pitcock here, and they made a presentation on a citizen presentation, and you were going to respond to that, and I believe you do have some response to that today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, I do. I had the opportunity to hear Mr. and Mrs. Pitcock at the February 20th, 2013 commission meeting talk about problems with the creek. In this particular case, it's Hardin's Run Creek. Emergency Deputy Director Rebecca Springer visited that area on February the 21st. She took several pictures. I mean, there were a lot of stones in the creek which were basically not very large. The gabion baskets installed by the state were to be solidly in place. There were a couple of trees that were growing up along the side of the bank, but they were small to medium size, and the conservation officer basically recommends that these trees stay in place so that it helps with bank erosion. I went out on the 27th after it had rained in the area for nearly 24 hours, so we saw the creek at both a low tide and a high tide. The water seemed to flow correctly at the points of the gabion baskets. We didn't see any obstruction to where the trees were going into phone lines or electrical lines. And being that your mother's house is off of Hardin's Run Road, in the event that there was a medical emergency, first responders would be more than able to approach the house. I can give you a copy of my report and these pictures if you'd like. Okay, I will do that after the meeting is over.
Thank you. Any other citizen presentations today? Having none, we'll move on to correspondence. Thomas D. Hagg, Chairman Comfort House, requesting financial support in the amount of $25,000. I will accept the motion to put that in our special projects list.
So moved.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. George Ashe, Treasurer of the Community Bread Basket Incorporated, requesting financial support in the amount of $10,000. I'll accept a motion to put that also in our special project list.
So moved.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Jim Conley, Chairman Greater Wheaton Senior Center, requesting financial support in the amount of $15,000. I'll accept the motion that we put that in our request, our budgets also for the special projects.
So moved.
Cindy, we have more than one senior funding request, am I correct?
Right.
Okay.
The usual, both, just the two usual ones.
Move to put that, we have that motion out there. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Roger Stewart, Chief of the Manchester Volunteer Fire Department, requesting financial support in the amount of $10,000 to replace 5 aging and unsafe sets of turnout gear. Gentlemen, I don't believe we can wait till we do a special projects budget. I think that's something we have to move on today. And Cindy, we do have the money under that one line
Yeah,
item.
we have a
correct?
line item that we set aside several years ago for equipment. There's $11,000 in there now. We haven't replenished it for a while, but it's lasted for at least 5 years with the funding that we put in initially. So it's we only use it about once a year with a department that needs extra, over and above stuff that they need.
Okay. Gentlemen, I move that we approve the request for New Manchester Fire Department.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Anna Raines, Director of the Sweeney Memorial Library, requesting financial assistance of approximately $7,000 to replace the old flooring in the basement of the library. I would also accept a motion to put this into our special projects budget requests.
So move.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. New business, County Commission. Approval of Mr. Robert Vitus for the position of Executive Director of Technology and Communications, effective March 28, 2013. Mr. Vitus is sitting right there in front, right there next to Mr. Zelinski. If you are apt to, you can look at his resume in here. Bob has a great background. I worked with him previously in another life at Weirton Steel. He comes highly qualified, and we're very fortunate to have the opportunity to hire this man today.
Move to approve that position.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Approval of the general county budget for the fiscal year 2013-2014. Cindy, is there anything you want to bring up there?
In the packet is a copy of the ad that will be placed in the paper once you approve it, the official document. I've already emailed to Charleston this morning for them to go over it. Once the owner signs the certificate, it'll be put in the mail today. I think Mr. Swartzwell was going to address the issues that we have with the revenues this year.
I was going to do it on my, at the end, on my editorial. I can do it now if you like.
I just didn't know if you wanted me to go that way yet.
I can do it.
Go ahead.
All right. First of all, I'd like to say that Hancock County is still in great financial shape. It's because of strong leadership. That's a joke. We have two large funds out there. We have a rainy day fund, and we have a long-term capital improvement fund. And there's monies in that we have saved over the years. But when it comes to the budget itself this year, it's kind of different. We're having a downward trend. The first sheet that we got from Cindy Jones, the numbers were, our projected revenues were $9.9 million. And our projected expenditures were $10.2 million. Well, you have to turn in a balanced budget. And we can't, the budget has to balance out. And since we only had revenues of 9.9, we had to do some cutting and refiguring some line items. With that said, the reason I mentioned the two funds at the beginning, although they have a large amount of money in them, we cannot balance our budget with our funds. Because what will happen, those will dissipate, and down the line it creates further problems. So a couple people had commented on that about the football stadiums. How could you buy the football stadiums and cut that budget down $300,000? Well, the analogy is, in your own household, you wouldn't take the kids' college fund and pay the operation of your house with, or go buy a new pickup truck. When it's time for the kids to go to college, there wouldn't be any money in there. So that rainy day fund, that capital improvement fund, is not to balance our operational budget. It just doesn't, it's just not sound fiscal responsibility. It would just put us in greater risk further down the line, especially if this trend of revenue is in a downward spiral. Now, it can always change and it can go up. We have a lot of faith in what we're doing, and we have a lot of faith in the Weirton Steel property sitting idle, and there's a lot of rumors out there, and that could turn us around. So I just wanted to bring up the position we're in, and the reason, and the football stadiums has nothing to do with balancing our operational budget.
I'll accept a motion to accept the budget for the fiscal year 2013-2014.
Move to approve as it was presented.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Approval of the bid for concession agreement for Kennedy Park and Marina, 523 Harrison Road, Newell, Hancock County, West Virginia. I have before me the bids here.
Gentlemen, before we move forward on the bids, due to a relationship that I have with one of the parties who have responded with a bid for Kennedy Marina, I need to recuse myself from the opening of the bids. So I'm going to step out while you open the bids. Let me know when you're done.
Check on my granddaughter while you're.
Yeah, I'm going to babysit.
Mr. Schwartzman, we have 3 bids here.
3 bids.
Let's just go on the level we have them here. Mr. Zelinski, you have all the verbiage there from the bids? How they were posted? The first bid is from a Mike Shenton, 544 Indy Avenue, Chester, West Virginia, for the Kennedy Park Marina. I will look at the bid and I will read the bid out. Mike Shenton will agree to become the vendor for the Hancock County Commission to operate, regulate, supervise Kennedy Park Marina on a commission basis. The commission will receive $3,500 per month or $42,000 annually. He has some list of products and other issues in there. This is from Terry Bailey. My bid for Kennedy Marina is $24,001.02.
That'd be $2,000 a month.
Yes. The next bid is from Orca Outdoors. And the bid is $2,500 a month with a minimum of $30,000. So we have 3 bids here.
Commissioner, I would like to move that we, as you can see, we really haven't had a time to digest the information, review the information. I think we need to do our due diligence on this in the next week, but we need to expedite this. And since we have changed our meeting schedule, we will meet next Thursday.
Correct.
And the grass is starting to grow, and we need to move on this. So my motion is that we will do our due diligence on these bids to make sure everything's in order and make our recommendation at the next meeting, which would be
October 4th.
on the 4th.
April 4th.
April 4th.
It's
next week.
So we will take this, do our due diligence and look at that and make the approval on April 4th. That's your motion, correct?
Correct.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Number 4, approval of the Hancock County Youth Protection Ordinance. Schwartzman.
Yes, gentlemen, in your packets, we've been working on this. I gave a rough copy last week. This is the final copy today. After talking to council, we should call this the first reading, although we don't have to read it verbatim. We will make it available to the public. This week, we made it available to the prosecuting attorney's office. He made recommendations. I sent it to the sheriff and the chief deputy for comment, and I also sent it to the magistrates for comments also, especially on the punishment side of it. So it is a rather lengthy document. I'm not going to, especially since I have a cold, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but let's just consider this the first reading, made available to the public, make it available to the record, and we can, we'll vote on that in the second reading next time. Simply, in a nutshell, what it is, we call it the Youth Protection Ordinance. It's actually, that's in the new words. The old words would be, this is a county curfew for the unincorporated areas of Hancock County. Anyone under the age of 18 would have to be at home by 11 o'clock every day of the week until 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, there are exceptions to this, coming to and from church or an activity, and it's all mapped out in here. The one thing I like about this is, this was actually copied from and written from Kanawha County's ordinance, and it was challenged by the Supreme Court, and it passed. There were a couple items that weren't. I scratched those out, and so this has already been, it was challenged by a bunch of students from Kanawha County. It's gone to the Supreme Court. It passed the test, and so this document should be ready to go next week on the second reading.
Thank you for the work on it, Mr. Schwartzman, and I will, do we need to make a motion, this is the first reading of that? Or does it make that a matter of record? I'll accept the motion, that'd be the first reading of this ordinance.
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Number 5, approval of individuals to fill 9 open positions on the Hancock County Parks and Recreation Board of Directors. 3 from each district, Clay, Butler, and Green. And I would tell you, gentlemen, that we received 10 requests. One request looks like it came in a little bit too late to be considered for this, so we had 9, 3 from each district. And I want to say this while Mr. Keller's here. The commission thanks Mr. Keller for the work he's put into this, and he's been working very hard, working almost tirelessly around the clock for this Parks and Recreation, so we do thank you for that. Gentlemen, before you have 3 recommendations from Butler, Catherine Coley, William Miller, and Billy Pryor. From Clay, you have Tom Keller, Rick Smith, Wilma Bormy. From Grant, you have Albert Bastravi, John Atkins, Karen Lascola, and Marilyn Board put her name in, but came in too late. She missed the deadline for that. So, what would be your recommendation on this, gentlemen?
Can we vote on them individually?
No, collectively, I think. We can vote on all 9 of them right there. 3 from Butler, 3 from Clay, and 3 from Grant, the ones I read.
I don't have any questions. Dave?
No, I don't have any questions.
I'll move to approve the board members presented to us as presented.
I don't believe it's in the packets out there, so you'll probably want this copy, both of you will probably want a copy of the names. So we'll get that for you. Motion's on the floor. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Number 6, approval of petition seeking an order for demolition of properties located at 400 Grant Street, front map G2R, parcel number 130, Knoll, Hancock County, West Virginia. Mr. Fahey, I'm sure you're aware of this. There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
No, I prepared the petition based upon the information provided by Mr. Savakis and the board.
I'll accept that motion.
Move to approve the petition for demolition.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. From the Sheriff's Office, requesting approval of 3 new members to the Hancock County Sheriff's Reserve. Jacob Cox, Roger Stewart Jr., and Shane Greer. I'm sorry.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Office of Technology and Communication, request approval of a change to the county employee policy manual. Mr. Zelinski, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Greathouse. This change is the use of vacation days and how employees accrue days beginning with their first month of employment. We're adding language that would suggest that when an employee basically separates employment, whether through retirement, voluntary or involuntary, can collect the days that he or she has coming to them in that particular year.
Gentlemen, your thoughts on that? I have a motion to accept that.
Yeah, and this is simply, they don't have to wait till their anniversary date.
Correct.
They can, if they retire.
If they retire, they assume the number of accrued days up to when they make separation.
I think that's only fair to the employees.
I move to approve the change to the employee policy.
Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Also from the Office of Technology and Communication, request approval of advertising for a request for qualification for the purpose of selecting an architect to design and engineer a new secured main front entranceway to the Hancock County Courthouse. Mr. Zelinski.
We have a courthouse facilities grant that will enable us to provide a secure access for all people coming into the Hancock County Courthouse by use of a back image scanning system, an X-ray unit, and a magnetometer. This will provide adequate protection for any person coming into the courthouse. This would allow an architect to validate our initial design concept and see if this is feasible.
Gentlemen?
Mr. Zelinski, the amount of that grant?
The grant amount is $300,000, and it's set up for labor for the first 2 years of having part-time deputies or other to do the actual scanning, and for the equipment necessary in order to put this in place.
Very good. Gentlemen, I move that we accept the proposal put before us for the advertising of the secured system.
Question?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Zelinski, it's coming from the grant man, I understand that. What about the actual building of it itself? I mean, are we hands-on on this? We're not just going to take, I'm just being honest. The last time we tried this, gentlemen, we had the Taj Mahal built, and it was built halfway out in the middle of the road, and we even took that day we erased the chalk marks. I mean, this isn't that big a deal.
No, sir. This concept is to utilize the existing space within the courthouse. Public would come through the front doors of the courthouse, exit to the left, which we would take one existing office today, make modifications for the voter registration area, allow the equipment to be located within that room, and then have the people to come around into the hallway of the actual courthouse. It provides a one secure location for all entrance into the courthouse.
And Eleanor signed off on that?
I'm not just yet.
Hackwoman now. As Joe Alonji explained to us today, Eleanor gobbles up all the property in the courthouse.
Stick up for yourself.
I'll provide some Easter candy for her. We'll make an arrangement.
We have that motion on the floor. We have a motion for that, gentlemen.
Do we?
I'm waiting on you to make that motion.
Oh.
I already made it.
You already made it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Grant application and agreements. Approval of a resolution to apply for the West Virginia Justice Assistance Grant Program, Prevention Resource Officer, Pro Officer.
Move to approve it.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, the ayes have it. Approval agreement between the Hancock County Commission and the Hancock County School Board for the Prevention Resource Officer, the PRO program.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Approval of a resolution to apply for the West Virginia Justice Assistance Grant Program, Drug Task Force. I'm done. I was going there.
I know.
I was in a little trouble.
I got a little water.
All right.
Move to approve.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by
Aye.
saying aye. It does seem like the sheriff gets a lot of grants and a lot of money from this, doesn't it? It does seem like it.
It's a lot of work when it's
I know that. Approval to apply for the West Virginia Justice Assistance Grant Program, Hancock, Brook, Ohio Counties Victims Assistance Program. I'll accept that motion.
Move to approve it.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Approval to apply for the West Virginia Department of Health and Human Resource Grant, a juvenile mediation program.
Move to approve.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Requesting approval of contract awards, a $4,000 grant for the National Association of County and City Health Officials. I'm not sure what that one is.
That is the one that Tony LaCosta and John Good get
Okay.
the Medical Reserve Corps.
It's not a NACO grant, is it?
No, but it's not, it's the city health officials.
Okay,
Yeah,
Is it a match?
we don't put anything in it.
okay.
Move to approve.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Approval of exoneration orders.
Move to approve.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, the ayes have it. Approval of general county bills.
$63,766.03. The P-card payments were $74,591.99.
Because we have some new people here today, especially leadership work, explain what P-card is, would you please?
The P-card is a Visa purchasing card that where things are purchased using that Visa payment card, and the county in turn receives a percentage of that back quarterly from the state treasurer's department.
Accept that motion to approve those general county bills.
So moved.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Approval of Oakland PSD bills.
There are none.
Approval of fire allocation bills and requisitions.
There are none.
Approval of library levy fund bills and requisitions.
They're okay to pay.
Move to approve.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Approval of animal shelter levy fund bills and requisitions.
I have none today.
Approval of sheltered workshop bills and requisitions.
They're okay to pay.
Move to approve.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Approval of minutes for February 2013.
Move to approve, gentlemen.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Are we going to go out and look at the new fire truck here in a little bit? As soon as we're done here, we're going to go out and take a look at the new fire truck. Okay. Sheriff, do you have anything you want to bring up today?
Yes, sir.
Johnson?
Nothing, sir.
Cindy?
No.
Joseph? Jackie? Well, we do need to talk, don't we? I forgot about that. You don't want to talk about that? We need to have that discussion pretty soon about that, yes. Mr. Vitus, welcome to the Hancock County Commission. I know you'll do a great job here and look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes, two things. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the commission on hiring Mr. Vitus. I think he's going to provide a great asset to the county for years to come. The second thing that I would like to bring forth is the social media policy that was distributed to the employees several weeks back. We're getting some kind of a slow response on signing and reading and interpreting the policy. But I wanted to make sure that all the employees knew that effective April 1st, all social media will be terminated from our county internet. Also, any streaming audio or streaming video sites that employees may have used on lunch hours or whatever will also be brought to a halt. So we're going to take the social media policy and make sure that everybody's doing their jobs, not on those
They have
things.
to take it into account. I need to.
Thank you, Mr. Zelinski.
I was going to say, that streaming causes those problems, doesn't it?
It causes we have two T1 lines that provide internet to the courthouse, and when you stream audio or video, it slows down the capability of other offices to do their job. So it definitely creates a problem.
Ms. Eleanor?
Just a couple of things. I met with the Mayor of Reardon. They're wanting to piggyback our ballot to put their election on our voting machines. They have to have a charter change first. Whether, council will agree to that, I'm not sure, but it is a possibility. They would have to change the terms of some of their officers, the council and the mayor. But I'm going to meet with city council probably in the next week or two, and we'll talk about that
When's our next election, Eleanor?
next year.
So same as ours, huh?
Or I think they come up in 2015. So they're either going to have to shorten one term of the officers or extend them 1 year. So it'll be something. And I wanted to thank Joe Alonji for letting us use Vince Leneve. He has been working with the city of Chester, and we are getting all the wards finally straightened. It was very hard to get dividing lines on some of the houses and everything. And he has done the maps, overlaid them with the voting wards and precincts, and given us every street and house number in the city of Chester. So he's been exceptionally helpful. want to thank Joe for letting us use them.
Thank you. Mr. Schwartzman?
Just, Mr. Vitus, welcome aboard.
Thank you very much, sir.
A lot of confidence in you, and I know you'll do a good job.
Thank you.
Mr. Davis?
Gentlemen, I apologize for missing the last meeting. You were aware that my father had some illnesses. He's slowly recovering, and I'd like to thank everyone who called and shared their concerns and sent him cards. So thank you very much. I have nothing else to say.
Mr. Jones, I saw you back there. Thank you very much for the timely emails over this winter time, keeping us up to date on all the weather advisories. That's a real help to all of us, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I would like to extend a welcome to leadership Weirton, and to our new Commander-in-Chief, I guess, is Mr. Vitus, to the County Commission. All is well and love and more. But actually, the emergency management and the city, the Weirton Area Rescue Squad and Weirton Med Center had our FEMA evaluated drill last week. And the FEMA people were in town, and they graded everybody, and there didn't seem to be any, the preliminary report was everything is all well and good at that point. So that was the last of our FEMA part until we start next year again.
That's when I saw you at lunch that day?
Yes, that is correct. Thank you.
Any other discussions? Anybody else bring anything before the county commission today? The new Newell fire truck is outside, so as soon as this meeting's gonna go over, we're gonna go out and take a look at that. But I'll accept a motion that we adjourn, and our next meeting will be April 4th at 1 p.m. 2:30?
No. Let's say 2:30?
2:30.
You're going 2:30?
2:30.
2:30.
All right, our next meeting will be April 4th at 2:30. Just keeping you guys on. You remember. We are adjourned.